What's the story, everyone? How are we all getting on? Welcome back to the channel. And Jurgen Klopp has decided to leave Liverpool Football Club. Oh, what a shit way to start your weekend. What? Friday, it's usually the favourite day of the week. You go to the pub, you have a laugh, you go out with your mates on the weekend. I'm going to have to go out and drown my sorrows now. This is tough, lads. This is tough. Jurgen Klopp leaving Liverpool. As a Liverpool fan, I am absolutely gutted. I'm devastated. I'm heartbroken. I've actually never felt this way about anyone leaving Liverpool Football Club. I really, really haven't. When Torres left, when Suarez left, when Gerrard left. Maybe if Steven Gerrard had left in like 2005, 2006, the 11 or 12-year-old me would have been, absolutely devastated. But this has come as an absolute shock. This has come as, I honestly can't believe it. So this was announced about 10 minutes ago. I don't know when people are going to be watching this video. I'm sure, later in the day on Tuesday. We're going to be discussing what this means, what Jurgen Klopp's exit means for Liverpool Football Club, why has he left, and we're also going to be discussing as well some potential next managers. I can't believe it. I can't believe I'm making a video on who's going to be the next Liverpool manager. I honestly never ever expected to make a video on that anytime soon. To be honest with you, like looking at Klopp cites the main reason for his Liverpool exit as running out of energy. And I think it's clear when you actually look through his managerial career, we look at him as a person, who he is as a man and what he represents. I think Klopp has always been very energetic. He's always been the man going crazy on the sideline. He's always been the man, jumping in with the players to celebrate. His teams play almost how he acts on the sidelines. They play with aggression. They play with a huge amount of energy. Last season, that energy was gone. There was absolutely no doubt about it. Last season, something changed within Liverpool where we lost that mentality. We lost that belief. It looked like the end for Liverpool. And honestly, if this had been announced this time last year, it wouldn't have come as that much of a shock. It wouldn't have come as that much of a surprise. Jurgen Klopp maybe had brought Liverpool as far as he could. But then this season comes around and, make a couple of re-energising signings in the summer transfer window, and Liverpool look back to their absolute best. And honestly, when you look at Liverpool, you look at the academy players coming through, you look at the future of Liverpool, the club overall is in a great space right now, in my opinion. And I think one or two more additions, and I think Liverpool can challenge for the Premier League next season again if they don't win it this year, and in my opinion the Champions League. So it's very surprising in many ways that Klopp has taken this decision to leave the club, because when you actually look at it, the club has turned itself around from last season. But look, at the end of the day, he knows himself better than anyone, and I think maybe it's a case of him, what it is, it took maybe a lot of energy in him to actually get Liverpool back to where they are now, and I think maybe that's sort of what he means in terms of he's running out of energy. He can only give it one more year. He can't do it again. We're running through, obviously, what Jurgen Klopp has done for Liverpool and what this could mean for Liverpool Football Club. So he takes charge, obviously, of Liverpool in 2015. If we go back and actually look at Liverpool in the years prior to Jurgen Klopp took charge in 2015, Liverpool were an absolute shambles, and I think people maybe forget that. Liverpool fans maybe forget that, but the last season of Rafa Benitez, 2009-10, right up until Jurgen Klopp takes charge in October of 2015, Liverpool are an absolute mess. They are an absolute mess, and we have that one season, obviously, that everyone remembers in 2013-14, the Gerrard slip and everything else. I think it was clear as day that Liverpool overachieved that year. We rode our luck at it. We had some great players. I mean, Suarez, Sturridge, Sterling. Liverpool deserved to get where they were, but I think at the end of the day, it was just one of them seasons that, teams tend to have every now and again, miracle seasons, if you want to call it that. I don't think there was anything sustainable about that season, and I think you could see a year later Liverpool fell a million miles off, and honestly the club was in a very, very bad place. And to be honest with you, it's not entirely down to Jurgen Klopp for Liverpool's rebuild. I think Liverpool started making a lot more better decisions off the pitch. Michael Edwards, for example, coming in, obviously a sporting director. I think Liverpool's transfers started becoming a lot more and more better. I think people forget as well that Klopp wasn't solely down to every transfer for Liverpool Football Club. For example, when Liverpool signed Mohamed Salah, it's well known and it's been said, by Klopp himself and by other people that he wanted Julian Brandt to come in. Who the fuck is that, is what you're saying right now. Who the fuck is Julian Brandt? I think he plays for Dortmund, or he did play for Dortmund. I don't really know, but Liverpool didn't get Brandt in the end. We got Salah. The rest is history. The rest is history right there. And Liverpool's scouting network, transfer network, was absolutely perfect during that period. Now, The worry is that that sort of regime under Liverpool, like Michael Edwards and everyone else, like Julian Ward, who came in after, they've all left the football club. The belief that Klopp instilled in the fans, in the supporters, in the players, the way he was able to get the best out of some players that I honestly thought would never be good enough for Liverpool Football Club. You know, the likes of Divock Origi, he turned him into an absolute legend. You know, when Origi's walking around the streets of Liverpool, this guy is treated like an absolute king, and rightly so, because of the moments against Barcelona, the goal against Tottenham in the Champions League final. You look at how he's brought the likes of Trent into the team from the academy, which people forget. Andy Robertson he brought in from Hull City. And fair enough, you know, maybe Klopp wasn't entirely down to all these transfers, but what he has done is been able to get the absolute best out of all these players. And people do forget, a lot of the players Liverpool bought were not superstars when they came to Liverpool Football Club. You know, I remember when Sadio Mane signed for Liverpool, and Man United fans were laughing at us, you know, because we went and bought this player from Southampton, you know, another player again from Southampton. I remember people laughing at us when we bought Salah. You know, he's a Chelsea reject and all this. I remember people laughing at us, you know, when we bought Van Dijk. Oh, he's not really that good. He plays for Southampton. You know, and that's the thing about Liverpool and Klopp, is that they were able to bring in players, improve them, and make them better. You know, and honestly, that's the biggest compliment I can give to Jurgen Klopp. You look at what Klopp did with Henderson as well, like making him be a captain that everybody will remember at Liverpool Football Club. I know Henderson has since, maybe you could say, tarnished his legacy ever so slightly, but you look at what he was when he was the captain of Liverpool Football Club. So firstly, the big question is going to be, who is going to be Liverpool's next manager? And Betfair have not messed around. They've already released the odds, and I'll show you a screenshot right now of some of the odds. So Pep Linders 3-1, he is the favourite. Xabi Alonso, Steven Gerrard, Roberto De Zerbi. You've got Julian Nagelsmann, you've got Ange Postecoglou, Luis Enrique, Spalletti, Simeone, Conte, Potter. Oh, Graham Potter, are we serious? Jose Mourinho is in there. Wow. Rafa Benitez, David Moyes 66-1, Roy Hodgson 100-1. Why did they even have odds for them? Come on. Don't take the piss. Let's get into it. I think, to be honest, it's going to be between two people, in my opinion. I think it's going to be between Pep Linders and Xabi Alonso. Gerrard, for me, you can't give him the job right now. You just can't. It would be absolutely crazy if Liverpool went and gave Steven Gerrard the job. Not a chance. Absolutely no chance. And he signed the new deal with El Ettifaq anyway. I bet he probably regrets that now. That's not happening. Absolutely not happening. It could happen in the future, but I don't think it's happening now. Roberto De Zerbi, I mean, it's not... it's a risk. It is a risk. It's hard to know what Roberto De Zerbi is. It feels like the type of manager Liverpool would have got in... So, you know, when we got Brendan Rodgers, it sounds like that type of manager. I think Liverpool need to be aspiring for more. When we got Jurgen Klopp, he was the best manager out there that we could get. I'm not too sure if Roberto De Zerbi is that. Postecoglou, like, he's not leaving Tottenham. Ange Postecoglou, and, you know, one season in at Tottenham, I know he grew up as a Liverpool fan and everything else. He's not leaving Spurs to come to Liverpool after a year, in my opinion. I know Liverpool is a bigger football club, but I couldn't see that happening, to be honest. I just think, you know, he's in a good place right now with Tottenham, and he's building something there. And, you know, we'll make a video maybe on Tottenham at some point further down the line. I think they could be on to big things under Ange. Pep Linders and Xabi Alonso, they're the two big ones. I mean, Pep Linders is an obvious choice because, you know, he's following on from Klopp. He's been Klopp's assistant. You would imagine not too much is going to change within Liverpool in terms of how they play, how they set up, how they press, the system, everything else. Pep Linders has been more of the analytical and sort of brain behind Klopp's team. Obviously, Klopp had a previous assistant who they called the brain, and Pep Linders is taken over from that very well. The worry about Pep Linders coming in, though, is that him being the main manager would be a risk, because we don't know how well he would cope being the main manager, being under pressure. How would he cope in those scenarios? He had a stint managing in the Netherlands sort of for about a year. Like, he left Liverpool previously and he went to manage in the Netherlands, and it didn't go well at all. So you just wonder, is he ready to become a manager? I'm not entirely sure. I think Xabi Alonso is for me the choice. He is the one. You look at what he has done with Bayer Leverkusen in a short space of time, and obviously I'm going to have to look into Leverkusen a bit more now, because I never anticipated that he would become Liverpool manager this soon, but it could now happen. He could be in the dugout managing Liverpool next year. There's a couple of obvious reasons. First of all, he was playing for, you know, he was an absolute legend of the football club when he played here. won the Champions League, won an FA Cup, was one of the most integral players that Liverpool have ever had in their midfield. And since taking over Bayer Leverkusen, he has been absolutely incredible. And look at the league table right now in the Bundesliga. Look at what he's doing with Leverkusen. Unbeaten, I think, across all competitions. Like, that's absolutely wild. And there's actually a strong possibility that Klopp and Alonso could potentially go face-to-face in the Europa League this year. What a story that could be if them two go head-to-head when Alonso is in line to become the next Liverpool manager. So Alonso for me is the pick. People might say it's too soon because of the fact that he's only been managing Leverkusen, I think, 2 seasons. You know, I think he took over at some stage halfway through the season last year. So he hasn't been a main manager for too long, you would say. But look at what he's done at Leverkusen. And fair enough, the pressure at Leverkusen and the pressure at Liverpool is going to be entirely different. And I think Klopp even realised that when he first came to Liverpool from Dortmund. You know, it's different pressure, it's different gravy. But considering Leverkusen are a side that, like, I don't think they haven't won the Bundesliga in a long, long time, if ever. So I think to do that and to achieve that for me tells me that he would be good enough for Liverpool Football Club. Everybody else, but just looking at these odds again, James Milner is at 50-1. What? Everybody else for me, you know, Jose Mourinho, like, no. Thomas Frank. Mourinho maybe 10 years ago might have been someone I would have liked, but I do think the days of... I still think Jose Mourinho is a great manager, don't get me wrong. I still think he can achieve things, but I think he's like... we want someone to sort of carry on a similar style of football to Klopp. I think Alonso's style, it's a lot more Guardiola based, I would say, you know, in terms of a style than a Klopp style, but even at that, it's not a complete shift. And to go to Mourinho, who would, I just couldn't see it, you know, ex-Man United manager Chet, no way. Rafa Benitez returning as well. I think that ship has sailed as well. Absolutely not. In terms of Liverpool Football Club, you know, looking at the bigger picture and everything else, obviously with a new manager coming in, does this mean Liverpool won't be at the top table anymore? Does this mean that Liverpool won't challenge for major honours? You know, when you look on Twitter, when you look on social media, you know, the first thing I've seen, you know, in the comment section on Twitter posts is almost like this is Liverpool's funeral. Like, almost like this is the end of Liverpool Football Club. Like, Liverpool won't turn this around. Liverpool won't bounce back. Liverpool won't again challenge for major honours. I disagree. Look, I think it's huge for Liverpool to get the next appointment right, because you saw what happened with Man United when Sir Alex left, and you saw what happened with Arsenal to a certain degree when Wenger left, and even sort of towards the end. I think Arsenal had been in decline sort of before Wenger left anyway. The difference, I would say, is that Liverpool have had the right structures off the pitch. I think their academy's been very good. They've made very good transfers, which Klopp hasn't always had the full say on. So I think there's... you know, the structures are okay for Liverpool, in my opinion. And I think with the right coach and the right manager coming in someone like Xabi Alonso, you've got you've got still a team, you know, that's capable of winning major honours, make no question about it. Could you have certain players that could leave Liverpool, you know, now that Klopp is leaving? Could Salah maybe feel like he wants to leave? Could that maybe shake things up with Liverpool? It's hard to know. But at the same time, it's not necessarily the worst time to leave Liverpool with the position that we're in, because we're going to attract one of the best managers out there. You know, the age profile of the team is now looking a lot better. Few additions in the summer. So I don't think, you know, I think with someone like Alonso coming in, who's done a very good thing at Bayer Leverkusen, I still think Liverpool could kick on, you know, even further as well, you know. And I don't think it's heartbreaking, obviously, to see Klopp leave. And I think because of the affiliation as a fan base that we've had with Klopp. But I don't think it's the end of Liverpool. I don't think we go back to being the side that we were 10, 15 years, you know, sort of in the 10 years previous to Klopp, where we were, you know, every blue moon we would have a good season, basically. You know, even under Rafa Benitez, we won the Champions League against all odds, won the FA Cup in some ways against all odds, got to a Champions League final in 2007, and then really after that, done nothing, you know, won a League Cup, wasn't it, in 2012. Liverpool don't go back to that, in my opinion, and I think someone like an Alonso would be key. Pep Linders is a risk. I think De Zerbi's a risk. Nagelsmann, not for me. Postecoglou, I wouldn't be against Postecoglou, but I just don't see him going to Spurs. Enrique, not for me. Spalletti, not for me. Simeone, Conte, Potter, Thomas Frank, Mourinho, Benitez. Like, when we look at all these names here, no one else for me. I love how Steve Cooper's on this list as well. What on earth? Robbie Fowler, 150 to 1. How is Roy Hodgson more likely to manage Liverpool than Robbie Fowler? I mean, Roy Hodgson, what on earth is going on with these odds? I have to say, they've made me laugh. Yeah, but let me know anyway in the comments down below. Certainly not the video I wanted to make on Friday. I had a completely other video planned. I was going to be speaking about Tottenham and Ange and sort of delving a little bit more in detail and sort of a different style video. But this has happened, and it's I better get back to work. So anyway, I'll speak to you all later. Hit the like button and subscribe. See you all soon.